Hey guys, how's it going? My name is ISC or Ice or Chris, as I'm known on a few different platforms. So we're back here again with this track. I really want to try to do some more like depth modeling and like environmental building. I started a little bit earlier. I wanted to design like kind of an inner castle or like section that looks like it's a big part of the castle that you'll see along the outside. I want to do like little things like this. Like right now, it's pretty high poly modeling for like what we need for Mario Kart Wii. Each of these towers is like 600 tries, I think. It's a little big, but it's also fine because it's going to be like right in the forefront. And you're going to be seeing it throughout a lot of the track. So I'm going to be starting to work on like various things like modeling like little bits of castle or tower along the outside. I got like very rough, scuffed looking modeling so far, but that's the point, is more to start off with something and to work from there. One of the things I love, and I always do in a lot of my modeling, especially on stuff like Neon Grotto, you'll see it everywhere. I love to use subdiv surface modifier like no one's business. It allows you to create like really nice looking curved surfaces like this. The top bit of this can look super nice if you subdiv. And I think it helps a lot. Also insetting faces and creating like grooves, natural grooves, and the curvature of it looks really nice too. So we're going to be doing that throughout different parts of this. But yeah, so let's just do some modeling for now. I kind of want to show you what the process itself looks like as you go through it. I'm not a very good modeler, so my skill set is pretty limited, and I'm probably going to be doing like a lot of, I'll model some stuff and try a lot of different things to see if we can create something really good out of this. What I want to do for this is have this entire indented section probably look like windows too. I think that would make sense. What I'll have to do too is merge vertices for everything. Since I did like a lot of sloppy modeling, I just took like the edge of this road and like extruded it up and then used like offset edges extrude. So it's kind of sloppy. I don't think all the vertices are still merged yet, so when I do this like windows thing that I'm going to try here, it might not look the best until I do that. Like, let me just assign it. And we're going to UV unwrap this face real quick, do cube protect, pretty simple. I'm going to select all. And what I want to do for this is grid by shape. Yeah, see, like, it creates this, like, deformity. If I can do, like, if I can take this and do merge vertices first by distance. See, remove 6 vertices. This might help it if I go under and do view project. Now, it might help. And then I select all grid by shape. Kind of, sort of. I think it did it. Yeah. It looks much better. Okay. So yeah, if you ever have problems with that, try merge vertice by distance first, because that can also fix a lot of things. What we're gonna do for a light map for later, so we're planning ahead too. That's one of the most important things about CTs. We're planning ahead too. What I'm doing is I have an emission source on the windows by going down here. If you go to emissions, you can change it, and like you want to raise the brightness obviously, and you can put an emission on it. I want to do this for when we bake a light map later, so that this produces the light on light map, a little emissive light, and that everything around it will also get a little bit of that emission. That's something to think about as we work throughout all of this too, is making sure that there's a nice little bit of color throughout the entire track too. We'll be playing with light sources as we go through it, I think too. But the important thing is like establishing a good layout, making sure the driving is pretty solid. Like this area, I know I'm not going to change anything in because it's really good. I like how it drives currently. I think it's really good. I really want to keep this strat of like being able to take this inside and tight. That was really cool when I was testing it. So if I can find a way to like model this tower and like a castle along it to not take up that space on purpose, it'll be really good. You need to be thinking about your layout and how your layout drives while you're modeling everything around it too. You don't want to like you want to keep open space in certain spots if you can keep it, or like model in a way to really like, how do I describe it, keep intact what was good about your driving in the original, if that makes sense. So yeah, in general, what I'm going to be focusing on while I'm modeling is like trying to keep open space where it was before, removing closed space where I don't need it, stuff like that, you know. But what we're doing first is I'm going to model this tower area. I'm going to be modeling, I'll probably model like a little bit of like this section. What I want this to be is probably going to be like just floating. I want there to be like cliff or like edge face along the outside. I think it being open is pretty cool. this will be like clouds. I think what I'm going to do is have this area be inner castle a little more, kind of like what I did with this. I modeled like a second route that I'm probably going to be doing because I think it'll be really fun. There's like a low over here now. We're going to have a low ramp right here where if you low it, you can go to the bottom. If you don't low it, it'll send you up top. Or you could intentionally go off of a half pipe onto it along the bottom. I think that'd be pretty cool. It won't be like, it'll be not solid through the bottom. I think that'd be pretty fun. I might make it like a grate texture or something so it's like visible that you can go through it in some way. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or make like an edge along this side, kind of like Banished Keep, where like you can go through it. But something like that would be pretty cool. Yeah, that was just another idea. See, like this whole track in general, as I work on it, we're going to be trying a lot of random ideas. Some of it may not work, so I'll go back and like remove it or like play around with it as we go. I won't do a layout test today. I'll just show off like some general modeling. For the first like few episodes of this, or whatever you want to call it, I'll probably just be showing off a lot of like basic modeling, basic techniques you can do in Blender, so that if you're ever aspiring to make a CT2, it'll give you like a little bit of knowledge to work from too. And I think it'll help a lot of people because there's like tutorial series like TLs or Bears out there, and those are also really good resources. So also Strobenz's, although I think Strobenz's tutorials are in Spanish. It's still really good information to have at any time though. Let's do like 18. That's pretty good. I also think I want to change this because this is the road one that I normally use. Let's do Evil Wall instead. That's what I call it. I always just come up with cute pet names for stuff. I guess I should name this like Road Alt. That's good. Because like we have like two different road textures going on. I have like this one, this brick one that I was just on earlier, and this it's kind of deformed, but we can play around with the views on it later. It'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about it until later. But yeah, I think this is an okay start. I want to like use this. I want to keep it consistent. Use the same textures here. I'll call this like roof. What we're gonna do is I want to go in here and like take this top part and like give it the roof texture, just so it matches up with everything else that I did here too. And I'll probably use subdiv on this as well, just to make it look even better, to be honest. I swear, dude, subdiv makes everything look better. You might as well use it if you can. It adds to the try count, but this game can handle quite a lot. It's surprising how much it can handle it back to. Yeah, there you go. Something like that looks a little better. I think I want to add like a couple columns too in various spots so it looks more realistic too. I missed a spot here. Yeah. Sign, boom. But yeah, let me do like a couple columns. I want to do, yeah, that looks pretty good. See, the vibe I'm going to be going for is like very, I don't even know how to describe it. Like Cave Story a little bit, for sure, but I also want to create my own kind of art style and feel. That's why I always want to do in every single track I make, or a lot of the time, is, and I think that's something that people like in a lot of my tracks too and respond to well. I do it is like, the kind of like art style that's very me. I think as you create more, you get like a more pronounced art style than what you do. If I can kind of create something similar to that too, it would be really good for this track in general. Let's go a little higher. I'm gonna do graph 2. But yeah, let's do like a couple of columns in the same way along this. Yeah, I like that. In fact, let me... No, that's fine. That's fine. I can even have them like... Okay, like poking through a little bit is fine too. I like that. Let's do one here. Let's do one here. That's pretty good. I'm duplicating just this face by doing X, or I'm doing Shift and D. That duplicates whatever you have selected. So I'm dragging that and I'm locking it to the X-axis or Y-axis by pressing Y. So we're getting like very specific positions with these that we want. Let's see. That's actually pretty good already too. I want to do like a few more. just to make it look like there's like some kind of indentations and like natural architecture here. So it looks like somebody built this from a different time period or some kind of that vibe. I think it'll go a long way in selling the atmosphere if we make this look like very old school, very rustic kind of vibe. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty good. I actually kind of like that. It's not bad. So what we'll do is we'll use, again, I want to go consistent with what I used for this, and I think I used regular road texture there, which is totally fine. You can also do stuff like that when a lot of the track is like the same kind of how do I describe it? It's like when you have like brick textures or something like that. I think it's also fine to use the same texture, even if it's a road texture, if it still looks natural as well too. Nobody's gonna notice anyway unless they're like hugely paying attention. It's never that big of a deal anyway. It looks natural, so I think it's fine. Let's just do a Q project for everything and select all of it, and then just do like, you know, because it'll probably look pretty natural. Or I guess I can do grid by shape, and then just scale up a lot. 12. Let's do it. How about, how do we want to do this then? Before we do this, let's select all. Let me see what we have here. So no, we want to scale very long ways too. In fact, can I just scale up? No, I gotta scale X. Do like 20? 30? Actually, that's kind of good. Let me see how this looks. Yeah, you'll never see the top either. We're just solely looking at it from a grid perspective. That's kind of good. Let me do oops. Let me do a little more. Like scale Y. 0.5. I guess X. No, stop it, UV. My Blender does some weird stuff sometimes, like it opens up windows for no reason. What's that? It's kind of annoying. And then like rotate. I think that's good. It's pretty good. But yeah. So yeah. I think that'll be fine. You can play around with like having it more in the wall part instead of like the edge here. Like this, but generally I like what's here. I'm gonna close this to Google that doesn't pop up anymore if that popped up on my screen. But yeah, I think that's a good start for this. We can play around with it more later. I think that will look pretty natural. If we do like things like this throughout the track, to make it look like you have like different sections of this tower visible throughout it, like this whole Wind Fortress concept, it'll be pretty nice. For this area, I think what I should do is have it be more inside and look kind of like here. I'll have to try to emulate the modeling that I did here from earlier, or create a little bit on my own. But yeah, I think as long as we have like a big identity, or like vague similar identity throughout everything to make it look at least somewhat correct, it'll be good. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna wait a little bit to model more of this area until I know exactly what I want to do. But I think this is going to be relatively correct for this area. So let's just get started on this too. For like when you do road, what I always do is, and this is something that I think Bear and every really common CT creator does nowadays, you generally do like a plane. So let me just show you. You'd add a plane. Go under add a plane. The road size, what I'm doing for most of the road here is 28 meters. That's pretty good in game size. And you take this plane that you made, you go under the modifiers, add a modifier, go to subdivision surface, put that on it. Then I normally do 2, and you can add it to the levels viewport. Like render 2 means that when you go under it, like let me show you a road over here. This is subdiv 2. If you go under it, this is the equivalent. It basically takes the road and subdivides it twice, which is why you end up with like 2 different loop cuts that, like, you get one loop cut that goes through the middle and then it loop cuts that again. That's why you get so many faces like that. And it would do that for everything. And the way that subdiv surface calculates it, it does it to like round it along the edges. It's kind of weird to explain. But what I do is usually do keep corners under boundary smooth, and it keeps it as like a square shape, so that while you're like modifying it, it's like, let me show you. You do like extrude. You'd extrude an edge off the side in any direction you want. Like, let's say I want to rotate it at like a 45. So let's do rotate Z 45. And now I can grab it, and you can see it like naturally tries to take it and curve it along that for you. And let's say I want to just, you know, rotate it all the way, do another rotate 45, and you can see it gives you like a pretty accurate like curve just from doing that alone. You can really like, you can get it very specific and accurate if you want to. It's not like a huge deal. It's awesome too because it will do it for you if you like grab along the Z2 in any direction, or you want to like rotate it along the X. It'll like naturally try to form it for you along that. It's super nice and creates like really good curvature for you. It's very flowing, very natural. This is like one of the basics of modeling and like CTs nowadays. If you want to get into it really good and become like a super good modeler nowadays, older CTs did not do this for years and years and years and years, and it's so incorrect. They usually use like sticky road as like a substitute for making it like good modeling. And realistically, if you do like subdiv surface modifier and like really good road, you almost never have to use sticky. You can if you want on like sections like here. It might be kind of good to use sticky if this wasn't boost. Boost already has like a sticky property, but something like this might be better stickier since it's a lot more curved. But generally, like most of this road here will not need any kind of stickiness at all. That's why it's really handy and nice. Like most of this, I will sticky like the edge of this part, but most of this would not even need sticky road. That's why it's so handy. And it also looks 10,000 times nicer, and it's way easier to UV unwrap, which I'll show you here. That was the whole point of what I was talking about. This is all going to be subdiv 2, I think, as well. Slightly curved up. There's going to be a trick at the end of this that's nice and curved, and you're going to get like a bounce off of this and be able to land back down on here. That's the whole idea. I probably won't do a boost. I'll just do a regular trick of some kind, I think. I think that would be pretty nice, just to create like an interesting little effect there. I'm gonna duplicate what I have here at 0, and I'm gonna hide it, just so it's always there in case I want to go back and play around with it more. But we'll just do, for now, apply. And what I'll do, this is what you do when you want to create that road. We're gonna do new, or I guess we'll just add the road texture that we had before. I guess, I don't remember what I called it. Evil road, I think. Yeah, evil road. I will do cube project. And then the nice part is if you have this UV squares plugin, which is just online, you can look it up. You just do grid by shape and it will automatically take your cube projection and just make it as pretty as possible. It's really handy. But yeah, we'll have to do a little bit of aligning it by hand to get it to be just right. And I'll probably get pretty particular about it because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like this. But as long as it's like pretty accurate, it'll do a good job. But yeah, see, like it looks super nice, really natural, really easy. You don't have to do anything crazy, and it creates just this nice effect. I think what I'm gonna do is have, again, I really want to sell this idea of like going up or down a lot, or having like multiple routes and splits that make it look super cool. I want there to be like a good amount of room for player interaction. I think like if I can make it so basically anywhere from like this part of the track, from here all the way down to like maybe here or something, like that entire section will be allow for pretty good player interaction. Probably even this entire area too. That would be a good amount of space for player interactivity, so that like even like here, like this area up to like here, as well will have a little bit of room for player interaction. That's something I need to be thinking about pretty consciously, is how much room there will be for player interaction. Like, if we wanted to even get crafty, we could maybe have some kind of alternate shortcut where you go through the back of this or something. Like, maybe there's an edge, and maybe you can intentionally use the edge of this to go along it or something. I don't think it's necessary at all, but it's just something to think about in the future. We gotta think about route balancing and strength of the main route too versus the shortcuts. So that's another factor, and that'll be something that if we ever did want to do a C2GP thing for this track, which I might do, it might be worth submitting to see where it goes. I always like to do that for tracks too, if there's enough potential in them. But yes, effectively, that's like a very base level, very simple understanding of this. We'd be doing this for hours and hours. There's a lot to explore and play with. What I think I'm gonna do too, just really quickly, one more little bit of modeling for fun before I wrap up this video, just showcasing very basic tutorial on modeling in general. What I'm going to do is I'll model like a little bit of what I'm going to do for this curvature too. It'll be fun. What I'm going to do is have this entire thing be like an edge of like this tower. I think it'll look pretty cool if we make this like the main tower and have this be like hanging off the side. I think that would look pretty cool. I might even model a little bit more of the tower along the edge of this, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I didn't have to line up perfectly with the wall too. Like, I could potentially create another alternate tower that's like hanging off the side on purpose. But yeah, if we can go for like this old school mystical vibe, almost Pokemon-y in a way too, right? If we can go for that kind of vibe, I think we'll have something really nice here. That's pretty underexplored and underutilized. I'll just do it for here for now. I think we'll play around with more of it later. We'll do here. A lot of the texturing is just going to be placeholder for now. But yeah, so extrude Z down to like -8 maybe. Is that too much? Yeah, that's probably too much. How about just 2? Yeah, that's a little better. In fact, let me do it for, because we're going to want to do it on this side too. So extrude Z, -4. Like, one of the things I'm doing too is, and this will really help you out so you don't have to select all the individual faces. If you do control and left click when you're like selecting edges, and you want to like let's say I only have this edge selected right here, this one, and I want to select like all the way down to here, which is what I was doing earlier. You just do control and click, and it'll select all of the edges all the way along it. It also works for faces. So if I wanted to just like boom, to boom, just do the same thing. It's really, really handy. It saves a lot of time. Good thing to do. But yeah. So what I think I'm gonna do is have this be slightly indented. Well, actually, how about we do this? Let's do edge offset extrude. This is another really handy plugin that I think you'll want to get. Also, I don't know what it's selected there, but that's goofy. But yeah. I might have to just do it like by hand again. Let's just do this again. Kinda hard to see. I only want this selected. Can't even see it very well, dude. Because he keeps trying to select the background. I don't want that. There we go. Okay. Much better. I don't want to edge offset extrude anything else, just these. But yes, we're gonna be doing, I think I'm gonna do like a curved indentation a little bit at the bottom, so it looks more flowing and natural. And then from there, probably have it fall down regularly. It'll be totally cool. But yeah, my modeling, again, is pretty bad compared to other authors. There's some really, really, really insanely talented modelers. If you wanted to learn how to model specifically, I'd watch like, again, Bear, or probably like TL, or Strobens. I think they're extremely good at modeling. I'm learning. That's what I'll say too. I'm trying to practice doing a lot of random stuff and risking a lot of stuff. It really helps out. Let's do negative. I guess that's, I can't do math. 105? Or I guess it'd be, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. And then I'll extrude Z. And let's just do another one. Edge offset extrude. Follow face. I guess I gotta do, now for some reason it's gotta be positive, I think. And more like 15. Or I could do 0? Let's do negative 15. There you go. I like that. I really like that. So yeah, now we would just like fill in the faces under the bottom. What I want to do too, if I can, like that actually doesn't look too bad at all. I like that. That'll look pretty natural because you'll come up to it and you'll see it like curved like this inwards. I think that'll do the trick. Yeah. So what I also want to do is the same kind of like thing that I did over here. This will be the last thing I do, and I'll call it good for this video for now. I'll do more modeling quietly and like probably once I get back home from work later. I just wanted to do this before I went to work today and show off a little more, have some fun with it. Hopefully like a more like a live kind of commentary video like this could be fun and really showcase things, especially once we get into the tools for this. It'll probably help a lot. But yeah, I want to do like some kind of modeling like what I did here. And what I did for this was I just took the road that I had up here and like extruded it down and scaled it out a little bit. I think I did edge offset extrude actually, and lowered it. And then I played with each face individually after I filled it in. So I filled it all the way in, and then I did using Control F, or not Control F, just regular F, and it automatically made its own thing. Then I selected everything that I just made into triangulate faces. That's why it looks like this. And then I went into, I took that bottom face, like that bottom set of faces, and just separated them. And then I did sculpted out a lot down the bottom. And then I took anything that wasn't linked up again from the bottom, and I just like merged vertices so that it looks natural. So it has a little bit of like this weird curvature to it that looks kind of cool. I'll probably do something like that for this edge too, a little bit, probably not a lot, but I think that'll be a good idea. Like, let's try it. That'll be the last thing I do, and I'll do some more off camera, so that next time there's a little bit more modeled, a little bit more going on. I'll do some more gameplay testing and show you how to make like a truck file and how to do it that way. I'll have to be very careful with what I show on my computer so nobody sees any of my personal stuff, but it'll be worth it, just so people see what it's like. See, this is what it would do to fill it, which is probably going to be kind of not accurate. But I guess we could do edge offset extrude and then, well, yeah, edge offset extrude one more time, last time, and this time we'll fill it. We'll separate what I just made, separate selection, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edit mode, take this, we're going to do triangulate faces, like that. See, it creates some weird deformities in the process too. I think this is actually, let me see, this is actually from the last extrusion, so if you ever get things like this, what I like to do is take this piece and like merge them together. We'll just do merge center, right? Or I guess I could do merge it last. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, just take everything we made one more time. Yeah, like, this would be very high poly modeling for Mario Kart Wii, so we'll probably have to play around with it a lot, but I could do some decimation or like removing faces as needed. The game can handle way more than you expect most of the time. See, that's a lot better. But yeah, separate selection. Again, I like Blender's fill. It does a generally pretty good job. You don't have to like manually do every single face. I think this is a little easier for it. But yeah, we're gonna do triangulate faces like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under sculpt mode. And what we can do with this is I can go down and like take any of these faces and draw on it either pulling it up or pulling it down. See, like you can see it there. By just drawing on it naturally, we can create some really good curvature. And I'm going to be doing that in a few different parts along it, so it looks a little bit more natural as an edge. I really like that idea a lot. Oh, I see. I gotta be careful though with what I draw. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's okay because I just don't have anything there yet. That's fine. Go back to where I was before. Draw. A little more. Maybe even like pulling some in too. Yeah. I think that'll do the trick. And now what I did is I go under edit mode and we're just gonna merge everything that's not matching together. In fact, let me join this back to make it easier on me. And yeah, we'll just take anything that isn't merged and just merge at last. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just like a specific track thing that I'm going to do for mine. Just because I want to make it more stylized. Just do little things like that. I always love to risk little things in my tracks. That's what I'm about as an author. So if something doesn't look good, it's okay. I'm just more interested in like trying, you know. But maybe we can find a really cool style. It's always fun to try something that I've never tried before. And I tend to try to do that in every single track. Even if it's just one thing to try. Something stupid like this. Because even the attempt can go a long way. But yeah. Once we're done with merging these vertices, I'll call it quits on this video so you guys don't have to be that much more bored with anything that I'm doing. I think it'll be a pretty good little thing to show off too. Just little things like this. This is what the process is basically like. If you wanted to become a CT maker, you'd be doing a lot of modeling like this, trying a lot of shit, seeing what works, what doesn't. I've been doing this for about over a year now. I think I started in July of last year, August of last year, or something like that. So a little over a year. Again, I'm not that good at this stuff, so there's people who are way better at it than I am. But this is basically what we're gonna do. This. A little bit of rock curvature. I think that looks great, personally. Creates a nice little bit of effect throughout the entire thing. It'll make it look really nice as we drive along it. And yeah, we'll just do something like this for the bottom part of this too, so you get like a little bit of a natural curvature. I think sculpting is really good when done right. And we'll just do something like that throughout an entire atmosphere, throughout this entire track. I'll play around with the bottom under part of it to make it look cooler, but yeah. That'll be what we do. I think what I'm going to do for the last, or what I'll do for like off screen too, is probably play around with making this look nicer too. Like this part I want to be a little different. I want it to look like gates. Like these little things are going to be gates along the outside that are transparent so you see through the edge of it. That'll be something I show you how to do later too. And you can even see it in Blender too. But yeah. That'll be everything for today for now. I think we got a good little bit of progress done just playing around with some stuff. I'll keep working on it too. And yeah, generally, hopefully this helps people figure out a little more of the track making process. This one's a 30-minute recording. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'll probably put some music in the background too, so it's not like dreadfully painful to watch everything. But hopefully that's fun. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I'll do some more work and show more and do a little off camera too. You're gonna be imagining doing this for like hours. That's what we do. I think it's fun to try a lot of things too. And again, if you're a better modeler, you can do it a lot faster if you're more confident. I just like to try a lot of shit. So, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and